Here on Sharp Cuts, we don't want things to get too stale. So every now and then I got to surprise you, Josh, with a whole new intro. Welcome back to Sharp Cuts. I'm Garrett May alongside Josh Nickel. As always, were you shook by the new intro, Josh? We said last week we need to get something new.
If your voice didn't suddenly rise, I wouldn't know if we were on the air or not, Garrett. So thank you for changing it up. I don't know if you rehearsed that in front of the mirror before doing it, but pretty good there.
Several times on my walk home, I got a lot of weird looks. So hopefully it was good. But we need a new intro. And Josh, I don't know. I've been brainstorming some. And I don't know. I thought about just coming and going, Sharp Cuts. And then just starting. But I don't know. That seemed a bit weird. We need help. So comment down below. How should we intro the show, Josh? Putting you on the spot. Just come up with one right now.
You know, some of the podcasts I listen to, they have little sound bites from previous episodes, so we could get some of your hot takes, like Western is cursed, or, this player's overrated, and we could have those clips as a teaser lead-in to let the listener know that it's about to get spicy.
You're unbelievable. Not only did you not come up with one, you gave a BS one and mentioned the only time you've clipped me out of context on this show. You absolute... Okay, let's quit being rude and introduce our guest, because Josh, I don't know how you do this. You, outdo yourself every week. Topical, recent, people who are kind of big shooters in the sport when we are no longer. So, I don't know how you do this, but we have got two members of the national championship winning team who we snubbed a couple of weeks ago when talking about all the national champions, and then you bring them on the show to embarrass us. Anyways, please welcome to the show, Kaylie, Lueck, and Jenay Varga. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you for coming on. And also thank you for not immediately being pissed that we didn't mention you guys a couple episodes ago. You wouldn't have known that had we not just said that.
You're not wrong.
Oh, gosh. Okay, that's the ultimate burial, is that they didn't know because they don't even watch the show. You said before you've never heard of us before, and I just want you to confirm that for the listeners at home, that it's an absolute burial for us.
Yeah. As facts.
Garrett, we could have lied. We could have lied and said, when I reached out to Jenay, she said, no, I don't want to be on Passin Dimes. I want to be on the A show, Sharp Cuts. But really, she just said, I don't want to do a one-on-one interview. Can I bring a friend? And I was like, you want to bring a friend? We have a perfect show for that. But again, she never heard of it. But anyway.
No, because no. She knew this was the A show, and this is really where you want to be. It's the trending show right now. So I have this bit of a habit, so bear with me. But I like to read out what Josh told me about the guests ahead of time. And forgive me, but Josh, this week you knew I would do this. So you tried to play the game of making what you sent. You followed up 2 hours later with some more info that was cool, a little bit more show worthy. I can tell because you knew it was coming. But this is what Josh said. So he said, tonight's guest is two athletes from the women's Lakeland Rustlers, the CCAA champs. They have no topic ideas. So, congrats on the national championship, by the way. And sorry for the snub. But really, no topics that we wanted to talk about?
No. We can talk about our season. We can talk about what it is to be a wrestler. Chuck whatever you want.
Well, I'm glad you're saying that because I had an idea. And really... you two don't listen to the show, so, you don't really understand, but it's really my goal every week to just absolutely bury Josh. So here was my hope, because you two are winners. Obviously, you're the national champions. I was hoping that we could start with discussing how you actually become the best, because there's three of us on this call who have succeeded in becoming the best. And there's one of us who hasn't. Not going to name any names, but I figured I'd throw out the question and we can chat about really, for the audience listening, so maybe they can take some tips from people who aren't named Garrett and Josh on really how to be the best. But really, I wanted to start with Josh so that we can all just correct him and bury him afterwards. So Josh, why don't you start us off and tell us how you be the best, and then Kaylie and Jenay can totally correct you.
I don't know why I have to start where your intro totally was attempting to exclude me, Garrett, but I think I'm the best because I surround myself with great people. I brought in some guests. Fun fact, Garrett, did you know since Coach Austin Dyer took over the program, they've never missed the conference championship, and that includes a silver medal, a bronze medal, a CCAA bronze in 2017 and 18. I'm just looking at the roster here. So if I don't have the answers, Garrett, I kind of study, I try to do my own thing, and then I just give up and say, you know what, I'm going to ask an expert, and that's why we have the two guests today. So I know you're trying to bury me, but right back at you, fella.
Yeah, what an absolute cop-out. What an absolute cop-out. Fence sitter king over there, Josh Nickel. So surround yourself with the best people is really all I heard. So and that's why you reached out to these two, and that's why you do the show with me, obviously. So thank you for that. But
did I mention that? I don't think that was part of the.
I think you said that. So please, Kaylie, Jenay, educate us and mostly Josh, really though, on how you did become the best.
Well, first of all, Josh brought in our coach. So as he said, since he's been around, he hasn't missed the conference championship, and really everything's top down. So our coach has built this program. This is my 6th year here, so I've grown up in this program. I've grown up a lot, so learning from one of the best coaches in the country and being able to pass that down to my younger players, and just trying to do everything that he says, because obviously he knows how to win. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's very nice of you to mention your coach.
But so Josh was wrong. 2017, they had CCAA. 2018, it was bronze.
You heard it here. Josh was absolutely wrong. You blew it, Josh.
I'm reading off the website. The national championship year was the 2016-17 year. It was the 17-18 bronze. I know you get them confused because you've won so many medals. They might all kind of run together, Kaylie, but that's what the website says.
So who's wrong? Kaylie or the website?
There was a COVID pause. She's in her 6th year, Garrett. There's a lot of medals to keep track of, but that's what the website says on her medal finishes. So.
But you said 2017 was bronze.
17-18, I may have mumbled the last part, but it was.
Okay. Technicality. Don't tell me I celebrated a Josh error too early. We'll just count it as a Josh error, I think. Honestly, a bit of a fence-sitter move to thank your coach for really the success of being the best. But let's drill down onto that. So why does the coach help you be the best? Because really, you two, at least if what Josh tells me is correct, let me just read this. So you two are the team captain, and Jenay, you're the MVP and an All-Canadian. So it's really you two going out there doing the work. So what did the coach have to do with it?
He's given us the skills for the past 5-6 years. He's showed us how to kind of do it. So
he's kind of the smarts, and it's actually funny because a lot of teams within our league call us the wrestler robots. So if Austin tells us to do something, we'll do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so, like it's not just a cop out saying it's the coach. It's like, no, we literally do everything he says and it works out for us.
Yeah.
Yep, basically.
Gosh, that's like the worst thing for you to tell Josh to be successful. Like I'm just look at you. You're just smile. I can just tell you're like, oh, I'm gonna take this, and all my guys are gonna be robots. I can just tell. It's okay. So, what does your coach do then? Like tell you to do that is like that helps you be the best. Like what is unique? What is different? Because obviously you had to go out there and execute, but he's not telling you to do something that's like crazy. Like if he said, hey, go and get a kill on this one. Like, it's not guaranteed it's going to happen, right?
I mean, if we send the ball to Jenay Varga, it almost is. She wouldn't say that, but she'll be humble, but I'll brag for her.
Okay, so see, we're already getting into it, Josh. It's not just about what the coach says, because there's already some confidence there, some ego getting involved, and I like it. And that's what I want to hear about more, because for me, winning has nothing to do with the coach. The coach is there to help you, for sure, but really it's up to you. And I found you have to be like so confident in yourself. When you got to put away the ball on like match point, it's tight. If you screw it up, you lose. Like that's a really tough situation to be in. So you got to be freaking prepared and ready to deliver, tough as nails, but also confident that you can do it. Because any doubt in your mind in that moment, like now it's just luck. So I wonder if, because obviously you said your coach gives you the skills. So what does he tell you to do that really helps you build that confidence and those skills to really deliver when the time comes?
I feel like we train so hard and we prepare. Definitely, I would say a lot different than people within our league. Like our coach does hours of video clips, like breaks down the other team. Like our B-side setter is truly like running other teams' offenses in practice. Like we're honestly, yeah. So I feel like we just, you have a rebuttal, so I'll let you speak.
No, I don't. I'm shocked that like you go that far as to be like, yeah, we're gonna have our B side run the other team we're playing's full offense to practice all week in prep for this match.
Yeah.
So your B center is not only not practicing your offense, they're doing somebody else's and multiple versions. So their development is getting good at everybody else's offense?
Well, she's also damn good at ours, so.
Oh, damn. Okay. You just got answers for everything. Josh, you've been awfully quiet over there. And here's why I think. I think it's because you love this idea that the coach can come in and really help the squad, make them be the best, because you want to be that.
I think I like how they're giving coach credit here, but when we on the A show, Garrett, when we had Joe Trinzi, one of the godfathers of stats in volleyball, he mentioned there's a reason why he's the only math major on the bench. We're playing a physical sport, so I think their coach prepares them. They go out there, they know the game plan, but as Kaylie said, when they set Jay on the ball, like it's a kill. Like I don't think that's like super game plan. I don't think that's super video. I think that's like letting people be physical and athletic and putting them in a position to succeed. So they're being modest here. They're taking the credit. You notice they're wearing their awesome national championship shirts. There's a little bit of ego. We just as hosts haven't cracked that yet, but I think
today.
Yeah, for our listeners, Kaylie and Jenay are in what clearly looks like a pretty nice room with, I think, a smart board behind you that's already screaming some budget to me with matching national champion shirts on. So, I mean, it's just, just the presentation here is just also screaming excellence. So, yeah, I'm calling BS that it's just a coach thing. A coach says do this and we just go and do it. There's got to be something else there.
I don't know. I mean, we can go back to what Josh said. You surround yourself with awesome people every day, and I feel like we have a really good group that has no problem. We always talk about an emotional backpack or like whatever you carry in from the day. We take that off, we get in the gym and work hard, and we're all there for one reason, and that's to play volleyball. And obviously, I think everyone would way rather win than lose. So, I mean, we're all on the same front. We all know what's up. We work hard in the gym every day and get the job done.
You mentioned something that sounds a bit interesting there. The emotional backpack. What is that?
Student athlete life is crazy. So, if you have a big project due the next day, or you got in a fight with your professor or your significant other, or whatever else is going on in your life, volleyball has always been, I feel like, a release for a lot of us and a place of like, all right, it's time to get at her. So, yeah, that's our emotional backpack. You take it off before you walk into the gym, and there's a job to do, and that's winning volleyball games.
Are you like supposed to like mime physically taking it off, or is it just more of like a metaphor?
It's a metaphor, but like, I mean, if you want to, you can.
Well, I'm just equating this to our show here, Josh, because we're trying to be the best show out there, right? And I'm just thinking like, gosh, what sort of emotional backpack are we wearing throughout the show? I'm just looking in your area, and not to really call anyone out, but I just sense that there's maybe some significant backpack of emotion being carried around entering these shows. I mean, I don't know. Is that how you're feeling?
Usually I look forward to the show because of the guests, but then you try to bring me down. So today, Garrett, as a security blanket for myself, I'm wearing my Dead Man's Beach shirt in credit to Derek Dedman here. So if anyone wants to send us gear, I mean, I say this every episode, but we are looking for sponsors. And right now a sponsor doesn't need to include money. It can include a nice shirt like Dead Man's Beach.
I knew I could count on you for a segue. Always shameless plug, just segueing to something else. So we'll segue out of this, Josh, because I can tell you're feeling uncomfortable. But I mean, congrats to both of you on having a great team. Like, I wish I had a coach that could come in and just tell me to do stuff and we just win. That sounds great. But the emotional backpack piece, I think that's a cool metaphor that I've never heard that before. So, I mean, hopefully we're learning something. So yeah, like, so I come in, take my emotional backpack off for what I'm about to do. Don't bring any of that into what we're about to get done here. That's kind of the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's all metaphorically take our emotional backpacks off for this show as we enter into everybody's favorite segment of the week. It's Players and Clowns of the Week. So, Josh, this is everybody's favorite segment, but I have a few other segments that we'd like to try out later in the show. So stick around or just fast forward if you don't really like Players and Clowns of the Week, because I got some feedback, Josh, from a casual listener, 3 guesses who said that Players and Clowns of the Week is getting a bit repetitive. You need some other segments. And I said, but it's everybody's favorite. But I did succumb. So we're going to try out a few of those later. So stick around, but let's get to it. Players and Clowns of the Week. I'm going first. Player of the Week, Josh, Sharp Cuts Volleyball. I mean, are you? Oh, I should say why before I credit us, right? We recently did what we said we were going to do, Josh, and we got to 100 subscribers. So congrats to us. Now, I also have to give a Player of the Week to some of the people who closed that gap for us, because I lurked the names, Josh, and I'm not going to out anybody here, because here's why. Because I went on and looked at the people who subscribed to us most recently, like the 8 or whatever that put us over the edge, and they're all people who I'm pretty sure didn't have an account and went and made an account, like a Google account, to come on and subscribe to the channel when they otherwise wouldn't have. So you know who you are. Thank you so much for helping us across the gate. That's a huge help. I'm not going to out them here because I could sense that they didn't want that. So thank you. You know who you are. Player of the Week, Josh. There we go. Okay.
Pretty solid.
Who's next?
Pretty solid. I'll go because I don't think they actually prepared Garrett, but I don't know. We'll find out in a second. But from Champions League on the women's side, so Dynavy Istanbul, Garrett, we've given this Player of the Week before to Tijana. I think it's Boskovic. You kind of give the Serbian names that VOIC at the end a different flair.
Boskovic.
With your accents there. But they basically hour and showered somebody in the semis, 22, 12, and 21. And she got 16 kills, 2 blocks, 3 aces, good enough for 21 points. What a performance. This is supposed to be the semis. Those are supposed to be competitive matches. And it was a good, just a slap, boom, get out of here, move on to the championship final. So, yeah, Tijana's absolutely crushing it. If you remember, Garrett, she was the MVP at Worlds this year. Just every game she plays, she's the best. So, just long-standing Player of the Week for her.
I didn't remember, but just want to confirm. They had 2 sets over 20 points for the opponent, and it was still an hour and shower?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that 12 really sped it up. You get beat 25-12. That's the outcome was never in doubt for that one. I don't know. It was 22 and 21. Make it over an hour, maybe an hour 10, Garrett. We'll see. TV timeouts.
Fair enough. Well, congrats to her, and great Player of the Week. Okay, over to you two. Kaylie, Jenay, who's up?
Well, since we weren't prepared, I'm going to say Jenay is my Player of the Week because I just feel blessed to play on the same volleyball court as her, so...
Okay, I mean, congrats.
Well, we have to clap.
Congrats. We have to. We have to, obviously, right? Congrats. Player of the Week. I mean, great. But, I mean, she's on the show. We're right here. Okay, Josh, I mean, okay, can you explain why? Why
is Jenay the Player of the Week for me?
It sounded really pretentious when I said it like that. Let me rephrase, what's the rationale behind that amazing decision?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, well, CCAA National Tournament MVP. She was the Female Athlete of the Year for the ACAC.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And then she was the Female Overall Athlete at Lakeland. She's an all-Prince outside hitter.
Okay.
And she's an academic All-Canadian. And there's probably a few things that I missed there, but yeah, my friend over here is pretty decorated, so.
It's a big year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big year. I mean, congrats. Yeah, after that, I feel bad for questioning it. Congrats. That's an absolute throwdown. You should lead every conversation with that.
If you led with that, it would have got over better.
Definitely this entire year, you got to name all 5 of those things every time you meet or talk to somebody, because it immediately changes the conversation. It's like, you got us questioning you on how to be the best. You literally, this year, are the best everywhere. Yep. Not just in volleyball, every sport. Right?
For ACAC, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't give the award out for other, like the whole thing, do they? Like, do they give out a CCAA Athlete of the Year?
I don't think so. I don't know.
You might have won it if they did.
You're just unsure. Yeah, check your mail. You might have a certificate in there. Like,
Probably.
Well, congrats. Gosh. And now all that pressure building up to now, Jenay, your player of the week. We've built you up. I mean, you're the best. You know, all these awards. Now you got to better deliver this player of the week, and it better be good. Pressure's on. What do you got?
Well, I would probably have to just say her.
Oh my gosh.
For being your biggest hype man.
Oh, you two. Okay, hold on. Before I judge it, did Kaylie also win all those awards?
No.
Okay, what's the rationale behind that amazing decision?
Biggest hype man over here, I guess. So
Yeah.
for coming on this show with me, because so she can just talk it up. 'Cause I'm not-
see, that's a good reason. That counts.
You know what? I get it, Jenay. I get it. Like, absolutely. You got to give credit to the hype person so that they keep coming and hyping you up. I fully understand. I should have done that more, Josh. Instead of burying you, I should get you to hype me up. See, I'm learning things.
It's not too late, Garrett.
Well,
it's not too late. I'm inspired.
congrats to both of you for being the players of the week for each other. I mean, it's a feel good segment, and I guess we got to feel good after this. Well, okay. And this would be even more perfect if you both name yourselves as Clown of the Week. Please do not do that. But we'll see how it goes. So let's go to Clown of the Week. I'll go first because mine's pretty lame. But something came of it. So my Clown of the Week is Derek Dedman. Derek, the episode before, we're literally going to address your complaints weeks before about the snub. We're going to have people on from your alma mater. You're going to go on and call me out for my player of the week and then ask for a player of the week for entering a tournament at 41. So you know what? Retroactive, sarcastic player of the week to Derek Dedman for entering a tournament at 41. But Josh, it got me thinking, what is the oldest person to enter a tournament? Because they definitely should get a player of the week from us. So I'm calling this out there. Comment down below. Let me know the oldest person you've genuinely ever seen enter and compete in a tournament. Any tournament. Is it in the 80s? Somebody in their 80s? Do you think that's possible?
Like, are you saying like an open style tournament, like a competitive tournament, for lack of a better word, like, or anyone who plays like Masters? Because I'm sure there's people who play Masters in like the pretty high up there divisions.
That's a great question, Josh. Because like I'm actually more interested in the person who plays in the oldest person to join the Masters tournament.
Yes, we need to find that out. I imagine Derek is pretty gutted because he saw their names and he's like, yes, finally some wrestlers on the show. And now he's getting personally called out by this. So he's just probably went from really excited to hating the show again.
I'm glad you brought that up. It's just a roller coaster of emotion here. We're trying to bring on Sharp Cuts, and specifically for you, Derek. So, I mean, congrats on playing in a tournament at 41, but Clown of the Week for calling me out because whether I deserved it or not. Okay.
I don't like how your brain took off there as somebody who's closer to 41 than anyone else on this show. It doesn't seem that old to me to still be playing in tournaments, Garrett. 41 doesn't seem like that much of a stretch that you want to be like, oh, I wonder who the oldest to play in a tournament is. My mind doesn't even go there. 41 can still play.
That's how I knew he was being sarcastic, Josh, because 41 is not that old. Right? But the people I gave Player of the Week last week for entering tournaments and going for the Olympics were 37. So it's a sharp cut on me. So I'm just swinging back, Josh.
Well, Garrett, some listeners will remember this, but you actually played a tournament with your dad, and I think the parent-kid tournament actually makes a lot of sense because as the kid gets older and is improving and starts to be the more dominant player, the adult's getting older and slower. So I think you don't have to put age limits on it. I think as long as it's parent and kid, because when like the parent is young and still fit enough to play, they're probably playing with like a 4 or 5-year-old. So I kind of like that concept that maybe we should have more parent and kid tournaments.
I'm not playing with my biological father now. It was too late. That ship has sailed. So Okay, and Josh, our guests are already checking out from this segment, so we better keep this moving to keep them engaged because they're obviously not focused. So, Josh, why don't you just sit on your Clown of the Week, and we'll go over to them. So, one of you, Clown of the Week, who you got?
Clown of the Week for me is one of my teammates. She was studying for her exam. She was going to pull an all-nighter basically for her exam today, but it was actually tomorrow. So, yeah, so she... But I guess it's good in her favor, so...
Yeah. Got some studying there.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, like, that actually... It's an absolutely a clown move, but it worked out.
It worked out, so... It worked out real good for her.
Pulled an all-nighter for an exam, thinking it was the next day, and then it was actually the day after.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Now, that's definitely not worse, though, than pulling an all-nighter the night after your exam was supposed to be and having missed it entirely.
Very true.
Never done that. But didn't want to name their name, though, eh? Like, just a teammate, not going to actually call them out by name. They'll know who they are.
Oh, yeah.
They won't listen to the show, though.
Honestly, our whole team will know who it is, and then they'll laugh about it.
Okay. Well, we will laugh about it if your whole team listens to the show, because that would be a huge win for us. So, absolutely supporting that. Well, that's a clown move. Thanks. Okay. Over to you, Kaylie.
Well, mine has got to be you for asking me why Jenay was my player of the week.
Okay,
Good rebuttal. Good rebuttal.
Yeah. Whoa. Thought of that 5 minutes ago. Did not. You're outing yourself for having not been prepared for the show, but trying to distract.
Because you didn't know how decorated Jenay was.
Well, then should I give you two a Clown of the Week for not knowing whom I am?
Yeah.
Are we calling each other out for not knowing who each other are here?
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe we should call out just volleyball in general for the fact that we don't know who's good and who's done stuff in the sport.
Fair.
I'll take the L. I'll take the L on that. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll wear that. But I mean, again, the same person who gave me the feedback about players and clowns of the week said this, Josh, that it always ends up devolving into it's either you or me. Every single week, it's you or me.
If you listen long enough, absolutely, Gary. That's because they don't know who I think I am. I'm great. I don't know why I keep getting named how the clown thing. Like,
well, you're feeling good right now because I got named Clown of the Week.
Yeah.
So you're riding high.
And it was pretty justified. That was a good reason.
You're gonna back that up. Oh God. Okay. How many Google searches did you do in prep for this show?
Not enough.
They're studying for finals, Garrett. They didn't even Google who we are, what the show's called. Like, it's just...
No, I'm not talking about them. I don't expect them to Google us before the show. You, Josh. You literally read from their website.
Absolutely, yeah. I like
you
you
can just
prepared,
know
Garrett.
that. Anyways. Well, I'll wear that then. But big cop-out giving me Clown of the Week. Who's the leading scorer for Clown of the Week? It's got to be one of us.
I think I still inch ahead of you, but you're definitely in the running.
You compete with me on who's the biggest Clown of the Week. Okay, well, save us from this garbage. Over to you, Josh.
Garrett, I have two. And speaking of Googling and trying to do research, have you ever tried to find a box score on the CCAA website? I can't find any meaningful stat. Like the box score. I have. No, the box score, if you click on it, Garrett, it takes you to the score sheet. And of all the sports, volleyball has one of the worst score sheets of them all, Garrett. So I can basically tell you like set scores. Maybe I can look up what coach started them in what rotation because he's such a mad scientist and over prepared them. Like I can get that level of detail, but I can't tell hitting percentage, kills, blocks, like nothing. And this is like the highest level of our sport. It's unbelievable that you click on, it says the word box score, but then it takes you to a picture of the score sheet. And it's not even an electronic score sheet. It's a picture of a handwritten score sheet.
Our probably ACAC website would probably be better.
Okay, no, I was just about to say, I'm fully ready to back your Clown of the Week, but we need to confirm, because you two are in that conference. Is that actually the case? Or is there a place you can find box scores and Josh just failed?
It's not even on their website. It stopped after the regular season. So you can't go to the Rustlers website and find Nationals results either, because I don't think the box score exists, Garrett. So this is on the CCAA, and now it's on you for trying to say, oh, Josh just doesn't know how to work the Google machine. No, it's the CCAA site.
I'm just asking the question because Kaylie just said you should try the ACAA website.
ACAC.
That one. So can you find them there?
But that wouldn't give anything about nationals. That would just be our league play. So, and maybe our conference championships, but not.
Okay. That I'll back you then, Josh. That is hilarious that you go to look for the box score and you get the score sheet. Is your second clown of the week the volleyball score sheet? Because it's honestly one of the worst pieces of paper. There's 3 of them, actually. 3 pieces of paper on the planet.
It's got to be, and it's not friendly for parents to learn, and obviously we make them do it to get like volunteers and keep costs down. Like it's not, but like I'm glad you mentioned that. My other clown of the week, Garrett, it reminds me of a quote. It's a famous one from baseball where baseball's made for kids and grown-ups only screw it up. Garrett, I don't know if you've checked the Ontario Volleyball website today, but they announced something called the tryout window, because it's not enough just to have tryouts anymore. We have to have this block of time where you can offer a kid, this block of time where you can do other stuff. So poor Carrie Campbell, who does a great job for Ontario Volleyball, has to spend so much time on this that between July 1st and July 31st, you can have an early signing period. But then there's a summer off period. And then on August 25th, the clubs get to declare how many open spots they have. And then tryouts begin in September. And all this stuff, it's got to be so stressful for the athlete, which means it's so stressful for the parents. Why can't we just say, hey, I'm going to try out for this team, and you go to the tryout? I don't know why there's all this, oh, did you get an email offer? No, did I get an email offer? Oh, that's outside the window. You're a cheater. Like, why does this have to exist when sport used to be like, hey, there's a tryout on Tuesday, bring your buddy and go try out?
Yeah, like I'm just sad now. Like it's just
coaches screw everything up. This is a result of poor coaches, not the kids.
Like this is a joke though. This whole show is a joke now. Like we've come full circle. We literally started with how do you win, and it's coaching, and then you just said clown of the week for this tryout window, and whose fault is it? Oh, it's the coach's fault.
It's the administration side of coaching. Theirs was all about tactical, so we'll still give a bonus for that. This is more about like admin and recruiting 15-year-olds and trying to tell them that your club team's the best. Like people driving 2 hours to play club volleyball. It just doesn't make sense to me anymore, Garrett. The grown-ups have definitely screwed this up.
So it sounds like if we just got rid of coaches, we'd have a bunch of losers, but we wouldn't need things like tryout windows.
Ooh, I don't know which side of the fence to sit on.
Oh, it's clear. Get rid of coaches for me. It's night and day. I'd take a bunch of losers over that crap any day. Wow.
So this is OVA. I don't know if the other provinces do this. I know some provinces have shorter seasons, so maybe their tryouts or tryout windows a little bit different. But I'm a little bit embarrassed for OVA and all the staff time, and like they have a committee who reviewed this. Like the amount of time that goes in to make sure that like coaches don't overstep or have these secret tryouts or try to steal athletes from other teams. It's an embarrassing day for our sport, Garrett.
Okay. Wow. Kaylie, Jenay, do you guys know if that's like that in other provinces too?
Well, I feel like it actually started happening in my, like you mentioned, people driving like 2 hours to play club volleyball and such. So when I was in 17U, I would say, like there was different coaches that say didn't like the top teams in like the bigger city centers in Sask, and then like went and made their own team, and then like the best players from those teams are traveling to go play for this new team, and like so that was super weird. And I was like I'm playing other sports, so I'm just gonna stay home and like play basketball and volleyball. Like I'm fine where I am. And now like I'm hearing about some of our like teammates, younger sisters, like you said, like are signing contracts to play club and like traveling 3 hours to like play on Sunday. I'm like, that's just great. So it's definitely happening in Sask as well.
It's just sad. It's so sad. Like
it's crazy.
I don't think recruiting or lying to a 16-year-old makes you a good coach. Like attracting the best players, I don't think makes you a good coach. The best coach should be the one who's developing the most athletes. Like Gary, we talked about this on the previous episode. How can you win by getting the most kids possible playing time? Are they developing? Are they having fun? Versus like, hey, let's just lie to like the 10 best 16-year-olds we know and promise them the world. We'll get you scholarships. We'll do all this stuff. And then your team wins because you've like just accumulated all these athletes versus what did you actually teach them how to do?
Yeah, here's the Canadian volleyball method. And here's where it is right here. You want to talk about how to win? Here's how you win. Somebody else develops a bunch of players. You guys practice with a coach as youth helps you get really good. Then you get so good, you go, nah, I need a better coach. So you get recruited by the best recruiting coach to go play on the best team, and then that team wins. That's the Canadian volleyball method, is like a thankless job for the coaches who work with people to make them good, and then everybody just goes to the best coach to win. It's really just the best team. Now I'm just so sad, Josh. Why did you have to bring that up, man? Seriously.
Because when I was Googling looking for information, this is what I found.
Introduce the two new segments that we're going to try, and it's just going to be brutal because they're going to suck. It's going to be the first run of it. Nobody's going to like it. Now it's going to be terrible. And the next week I'm going to get called out by everybody. Derek Dedman's going to respond, and I have commenters saying your intro sucks. Maybe let Josh do it. Like, now it's just going to be brutal. So whatever. I'm going to go head first into it. Also, Clowns of the Week. Thanks. And yeah, like actually pretty good. Pretty Players of the Week was a bit token, but the Clowns of the Week, very sharp cuts. Very sharp cuts. Somebody brought something interesting and somebody called one of us out. So that's like just cookie cutter sharp cuts. So thanks you two for that. So okay. Bear with me here. Now I'm feeling a little bit embarrassed. The pressure's on, Josh, so I better deliver. So I'll tell you this first, and again, Kaylie, Jenay, you're going to need to bear with us here. This is a challenging one. So when we have 4 guests on the show, Josh, like not 4 guests, 2 guests, so there's 4 of us, we can do a segment called Backhands 3 Swings, because it actually works. Now, what does that mean? Well, you know how we often complain how sharp cuts is too nicey, and we never really get into the meat of it and really get heated? Well, this is an effort to help with that. So Backhands 3 Swings. It's something we call out in volleyball all the time. And if we call it out in a show, it means we each take turns giving 3 backhanded compliments to each other to really get at the root of things and really get spicy. So immediate thoughts. Terrible. Immediate thoughts. Open to feedback. I'm
nervous. I don't like this already. I'm uncomfortable.
No, they're compliments, but backhanded. Do you want examples?
Sure.
Like, I should lead this off and just show you how it goes to see if it's actually entertaining and worthwhile or if it's a pile of garbage.
I don't know if I could come up with a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's a challenge to like ask people to do that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so what is a backhanded compliment? Like, what is backhands? It's when you say something nice, but the undertone is actually quite mean.
Yeah.
So let me give you an example. I'll start with Josh. Josh, I was so excited when you got named as the next gen head coach. It was so surprising that they would give you the job. So, like, I'm trying to set you up by saying, yeah, it was really great, but also underlying bearing you, like, you know, surprise. So, like, that, to cut right to it.
You think this is a good idea?
I'm getting deer in the headlights. Do you think it's a bad idea?
I think this is a terrible idea.
Okay. Well, then why don't you come up with a cool new segment and try to spice things up, Josh?
Like, I feel like people are going to hang up in the middle of the show. Like, what if I was just like, hey, congratulations, Kaylie, for starting all 6 years of your college career. Like, would that be like a good compliment to give somebody? Like,
that is awesome. And
that's so rude.
That's the point. It's just sharp cuts, Josh. Like, what kind of show do you think we're making here? Is handshakes all around? No, it's sharp cuts. This is the A show. We better start acting like it.
We need some comments below from our listeners if this is actually going to take off, because this is just going to be like an airing of grievances. This is going to be like, we had such a good thing going, and now we're just going to end in a bitter mood.
What do you mean we had such a thing going? I have another segment that is supposed to bring things full circle, and you're absolutely cutting my legs out from under me, Josh. Okay, Kaylie, Jenay, is this a dumb idea, or should we at least try it out?
I don't know if it's something I'd be able to do.
No, personally. I don't know if it's something I'd want to do.
Okay, well then maybe we just need to end the episode. Like, we just need to just cut it. Okay, we'll workshop it. I'll throw it out there.
I wish there was like a witty
compliments,
way for them to ask you like if you played, Garrett. I think that's what I really want from our guests, to be like, oh, so Garrett, did you ever play?
Yeah, like that's not a compliment, but it's definitely a burn, right? Like exactly that sort of stuff, Josh. We need to cut right to it. I'm willing to take the heat. You seem unwilling.
Yes.
It's also a tough ask of a guest to be like, hey, be clever and come up with a backhanded compliment of two people you maybe don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I had a few backhanded compliments prepped, but I guess they'll go to waste because this segment is a terrible idea. So
you took a chance.
We'll just move on then. Yeah. Okay. Well, then here's my next segment idea, Josh, that we're workshopping here. Since all three of you shot down my last one, here's another one that's an effort to be a little bit more positive and receptive, Josh, when maybe we're arguing a bit too much and challenge ourselves to be friendly. Josh, what do you call out when you set your partner in beach and they go up and they have no block? What do you yell?
Nobody.
So that's the segment, Nobody, where we toss up a softball to one of our guests to lay the sharpest cut they possibly can, and we all have to agree with it and support it in some way because there's no blocking it. You just got to let it happen and agree with it. How about that?
Garrett, this sounds much better than your last segment.
See, you're using a backhanded compliment to add information, but you're also sharp cutting a segment about backhanded compliments.
I'm not getting this, am I? I thought we just went full cycle.
No, but it was good. But now I'm thinking maybe you actually like that segment, but the compliment said you didn't. So actually, neither of it was. You don't like anything.
Can you provide an example of the new segment, please? The Nobody segment.
Well, hold on. What do you mean? An example, like throw up the softball?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the softball. And who should I throw it to? Kaylie or Jenay?
Jenay. She hasn't said much this episode.
Okay. Jenay. Nobody. I'm setting you. Let's get in the mood here. I'm setting you. We're beach partners. I set you. There's no block. Nobody. So you have no excuse not to pound this down. Who is the best volleyball player in Canadian history? Nobody! Nobody! No block!
I think she just flubbed it into the bottom of the tape, Garrett.
No one! Who you got? We have to agree with you though, right? Because there's no block. So we can't block you. We just have to support it. You could say yourself. And we'd have to agree.
Like, I think he's good, but I don't know. I actually don't follow that much.
I was going to say.
I'm very uneducated in volleyball, I would say.
So are we, but that's why the beauty of the segment is no block. We have to just, Josh and I, we disagree on basically everything, have to find a way to agree on this.
Okay, I think TJ Sanders is pretty good. I think he's pretty great Canadian volleyball player.
Garrett, remember the rules. Remember the rules,
Yep,
Garrett.
Right. Immediately challenged, right? See, it's immediately a challenge to just fully agree to that, but it's in the spirit of coming together. So, yeah, I mean, and in the spirit of TJ was awesome. I knew he was going to be the best volleyball player in Canadian history when we dominated him in the last tournament that I ever played against him. That's just when I knew that he was going to be. See, that's not even good enough though. That's too. I have to really commit to this. So I need help, Josh. Like I got to back this up.
Yeah, I don't know what the outcome is you want from this segment.
We have to agree. We have to confirm that Jenay pounded it down.
Right. So is this somebody says something and we all just kind of make funny faces because we don't agree, but we have to? Like, what is the goal of this segment? I'm really following.
Josh, like, what is the point of this show? Why do we even come here and do this? Like, you're going to ask existential questions about everything we do? Like, what's the point of me even asking any question? Like, we're trying We're trying to do a show here that's fun for us and for the listeners. Like, what do you think we're doing here?
I think this segment has to stay because you just got Jenay to laugh. So she's finally comfortable enough to be on the show. We're almost an hour in, Garrett, but we finally got her. So this segment is a winner.
Okay. TJ Sanders. Jenay, you're going to have to help us get on board with this. Why is TJ the best player ever?
Because she's the only one that she could name off the top of her head.
Which means something. Why do you have recall? Because he's so great.
Yeah, like, see, Josh, you're getting it. You're getting this segment, Josh. This is what I'm talking about.
It's so hard not to rebuttal. Why can't I rebuttal if this is sharp cuts?
Because you shot down the other segment that was about sharp cuts.
No, that was about being rude to people who come on the show.
The sharp. Oh, I'm gonna lose it. I'm losing it here, Josh. We might not have another episode of this show. Now TJ, best setter. Let's go. Okay, is because he had fantastic hands, right? Like really beautiful delivery on the ball. Does he maybe have the best hands of a setter in Canadian history ever?
I couldn't even name another Canadian setter, honestly.
So yes, he must, right?
Out of all the Canadian setters, Garrett, he's one of them.
Okay. You three, honestly. I write some notes, I like come in prep, we're like trying to do a show, we're trying to be entertaining, and it's just this is what I gotta deal with? Okay, you three then. What's the great segment for sharp cuts that we should be doing?
Do we all get a chance at hitting the meter ball warm up or just Jenay gets to go?
Great question. We're workshopping this thing. You want a free ball?
Yep. But not a hard one. Like something
it's not
lobbed up,
Okay. Well, that's maybe a different segment is like, because nobody is like, there's no block, you got to pound it down. But free ball, like you should definitely put that one away, right?
Terminate.
Yeah, that's the one I had prepped. See what I mean? Like, should I prep one for everybody next time? Okay. Here's one. Here's one for you, Kaylie. Which sport is more physically demanding? Beach volleyball or indoor volleyball?
Beach volleyball.
Or sitting volleyball?
Beach volleyball. Beach volleyball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. We cannot block that. Yeah. Why is it? Is it because of the sand?
Yeah, sand is not my friend.
Yeah, sand is brutal. Running around in there's less space to cover, right? So you got to you got 6 people on the court in indoor. You only got less space to cover. On beach, you got to cover the whole court, so you got to run more, right?
Quicksand.
Yeah, okay. So clearly we need to have a few more production meetings here, Josh, because even when I try to get feedback, even when I try to workshop, I don't even get full buy-in. We didn't even explore the other segment. So maybe I need to just do some existential rethinking of what we're even doing here on this show.
I think this one can work, Garrett, but it doesn't lead to a lot of discussion if somebody just gets to pop off and say anything. We have to go, okay, yeah, good reason.
Because you're terrible at it. You don't get it. No, you're right. I think you're right. Maybe it's better to flip it, and instead of nobody, it's free ball, and you give a really easy question, and then you got to argue with it.
Yes.
That could work.
Maybe in the middle past the free ball, and they fumbled it, and now we get to rebuttal and play on. Like they didn't terminate.
I'm assuming the middle's gonna fumble the free ball.
Are you allowed to pass free balls on your team?
Yeah.
She gives great.
I thought they were robots, so the libero would just move and get in there and do their role, but that's okay.
We're one cohesive unit.
Okay, you got any free balls, Josh? You want to toss up a few free balls that we should pound down?
Best logo in the ACAC, Garrett. That's a 50-50 ball I just tossed right on top of the tape.
Well, how many logos do you know in the ACAC?
I'm looking at a pretty good one.
Yeah, this is the best one.
It's a pretty good logo. Is it a guy?
It's a wrestler.
Whatever it is.
Do you know what a wrestler is?
Well, I know that they, I guess, wear cowboy hats and bandanas.
Yeah.
I don't know any more than that.
They steal cows.
So we have to argue with that because it's a free ball. We got to try to defend. So to defend, we'd have to name a better logo in the ACAC. And I don't know, Josh, if you or I even know of another one.
Well, Red Deer, I think, would stand out in the volleyball community.
Oh, it doesn't.
So why is their logo better?
Stars.
Because it's a really unique shade of green that not many people could pull off, but they do. They do.
Okay. So clearly we have some work to do on our side. And because Kaylie and Jenay you're not being mean, but you're definitely shooting down these dumb ideas, it seems like.
Oh, I'm just voting for us to have the best logo.
Oh, okay.
I don't even think it's not even close.
It's not even close.
No,
Well, see, which segment are we doing? Are we doing the one where we have to agree or the one where we have to disagree? See, now you've added confusion in here, Josh, because I think I'd agree. It's a pretty awesome logo. And would I rather be like, because you say, oh yeah, go Wrestlers. Is that what you say?
Wrestlers, yeah.
Yeah, like, would I rather be a wrestler or would I rather be, I don't know, Panther?
We don't have a family.
A Gale? A Marauder? Ooh. Right? Like, wrestler's pretty cool. Okay. Well, Kaylie, Jenay, this is the show. This is how it goes. And we usually get to the end and kind of lose steam and, you know, nobody's really listening still. So, yeah, how did you think it went? Was it everything you'd hoped it'd be?
I feel like maybe if we knew more about higher level volleyball, we'd be better, I guess. But
Oh. Wow. Yeah, maybe we should actually talk about volleyball some more, Josh. Like, and stop asking our guests to have things prepared or come up with things on the spot or ask them to do backhanded compliments. Maybe we should just pick their brains about volleyball. But wait, that's the A show. Like, we're not doing that.
Before we move on, again, we mentioned at the start of the show, we didn't really know what the ACAC was, Gary. We don't follow it too much. What the heck is an NAIT Ooks? Is that how do you say their mascot?
Northern Alberta Institution of Technology. Yeah.
But what's an Ook?
Like an owl.
Yeah. Bold, Garrett. That's a bold one. They might be the only one in North American sport to be the OOKSs, the Ooks.
Ooks. Yeah.
It's memorable.
I wonder what their cheer is. Ooks on 212 Ooks?
Ooks.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, I'm on board now. Is that what they do? I'm on board now. Northern Alberta, that's a good one.
Okay. Well, I hope you two weren't too disappointed with our outing in this episode. We appreciate you coming on. Congrats on the national championship, and thanks for sharing some of your thoughts about the coach. I will definitely remember the emotional backpack. Like, that's never going anywhere. And maybe, the true test will be, do I remember to tell Josh to take his emotional backpack off next episode? So tune in for that. But if you're still listening, thank you so much. Don't know why you're doing it, but we appreciate it. Anything else you two want to say to the people? There's maybe like 2 people listening, and they may comment down below.
Again, as I'm learning more about the ACAC, I'm going to cut them off here, Garrett. What color is Lethbridge's floor?
Blue. Baby blue.
Yeah. They play on a baby blue floor, Garrett. We got to get out to the ACAC and watch some more games. Is that hard to play on? It looks ugly in pictures.
So this was our first year that we're split up north and south. So this is the first year I've ever been to Lethbridge to play. So, but their gym was so cool. Like we have a like pretty small gym here, but they have like full 3 courts, big stands type deal. So, I thought more than anything it was cool to play there. So
on a baby blue floor.
Baby blue floor.
Anyways, Garrett, this is me learning on the internet. This segment is called Josh Googles the ACAC, and we just have a conversation about it. I think this is going as well as your 3 swings backhands one.
Yeah, like should I jump in now? Like, should we close the show, or did you have a bunch more content that you wanted to go through on the show here?
Here, Garrett, I'll throw you a fatty. What's your favorite ACAC gym?
Hey.
None of them. How about that?
One's an obvious answer. Ours.
Medicine Hat
Well, I'd have to
Rattlers.
name the gym.
The snake pit. They call that the snake pit. It's in the basement. You have to go
The snake
downstairs.
pit. But aren't snakes the mortal enemy of the wrestlers?
That's why it's such a rivalry.
No, that's their gym.
No.
No, Medicine Hat. I got cut off there. Sometimes the audio
You're
doesn't
pointing
go through.
yourself and saying it's an easy answer. The snake pit.
No, he brought up Medicine Hat.
Okay, you know what? How about you host the show, Josh? Okay, you got this. You got this. I'll just sit back and be guest guy over here and just participate. Here, you got it. Let's see what you got.
Garrett gets rattled. This could be a good segment.
Garrett Gets Rattled is the name of the show, Josh. Like, it's not a segment. It's every freaking week. I keep coming back. I don't know why.
Garrett, the ACAC is bigger than I thought it was. Like, there are a lot of schools here. And fun fact, when they beat Humber, who I gave a shout out to the show, I thought they were going to do well. Humber's like 3 times bigger than their school. So that's such an impressive win to beat them in the semis.
Geographically or population?
Population-wise.
Big school.
Cool. I mean, we've already congratulated them and said that, like, we've just talked about all of the accomplishments and the success, and all. We asked them how to win because they won. And now you're just saying, fun fact, that they dominated a school bigger than them. I mean, great. You're preaching to the converted here. Oh, that's it? Oh, okay.
Josh is
still
Googling the internet. They had a team who went winless, so no shout out to them. But
Why are you searching the internet an hour into the show, Josh? Like, people are gone. No one's listening. Okay.
No one's
Kaylie,
listening.
Jenay, anything you want to say to us or to Josh, or really just anything in general, because we got to close the show down.
Maybe dive deeper into the ACAC.
How about that, Garrett? They do more research on the show, maybe a couple downloads, and I do more research on the ACAC, and I give a presentation in our new segment, the ACAC Update, starting next week.
Ooh. You'll see Jenay's face a couple times next year then.
Yeah, like, way to immediately just cherry pick a segment you knew the guests would love the idea for, just to get immediate backing after you've buried mine. I'm bitter. I'm leaving this episode feeling terrible. Well, listen, thank you two for coming on the show. We appreciate it. I mean, it's definitely great to increase our horizons for volleyball and stuff. So now we definitely got to check out the ACAC. So, I mean, and congrats on the national championship. Thanks for coming on. Josh, brutal as always. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.